Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. The spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
Okay, let's say welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia discussions for this beautiful Friday evening, the 25th of April 2025. Uh, we are well seated and ready to discuss the issues from different angles as you know it. And so we'd like to say welcome to you if you're joining us for the very first time on this platform. This is called the Bottom Line Liberia discussions. And if you are here always, we want to say welcome home. Your home is always your home. My colleagues will be here with me tonight. Jima Kamara is here, while Paul the Lord Chiloply is here, both in the UK, and I'm here in Norway. We are not sure if our colleague Francis Mensah will be joining us tonight, but whatever the case, the three of us will be here to carry out the show. So let's say welcome to all of you. Paul, how was your weekend? Today's and how are you starting the weekend?
Well, I want to say good evening to our audience and good evening to you. I mean, my week was hectic, work, and I thank God. Today, I just want to say I'm happy to be in paradise as usual and to be among the living. But above all, I'm looking forward to the weekend and also looking forward to football and the ANC convention taking place this weekend as well in Philly. So these are things that I will be looking forward to. Yeah. And how's was your weekend? How's the weekend going?
My week was good. We this week we worked for only 4 days. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday today, because Monday was the end of the holiday from the Easter. So the 4 days of work was good. At least we were able to clear out some deficits when it comes to the work, and then the weekend starting well. Yeah, my weekend will be good, but as a father for small kids, I know how real weekend. I know how any actual lazy day. All my days throughout the week is busy. The weekend is even worse because I stay home, or sometimes I also have to work extra. So when I stay home, it's the same. When I work extra, it's the same. So but my week is always busy and for the good reason because I never work. So we're looking forward to the weekend, and we hope the weekend will be good. But what's on your mind, as we start the weekend? What's on your mind from all that have been happening in the week, and especially yesterday and running into today's day?
I mean, thank you, Lynn, for what's on my mind is about the Supreme Court ruling that everybody the law awaiting Supreme Court ruling. And now we know that we come from a country. In every country, there's law that govern everyone, that everybody abide by. So when the highest decision making body that they interpret the book that we all live by, that everybody will agree to. Now, for the president to come out to say that, yes, I accept the Supreme Court ruling, but I will do the contrary, it much concerning. And this is what on my mind, because some of us we have age that we saw what happened years back that led to the Civil War. And this very president was part of that government that what the cause for going into Civil War. And this is something that is really concerning to all meaningful Liberian, whether you from UP, United Party, CDC, ANC, wherever party you come from, all Liberians should be concerned that if the president have been breaking laws in Liberia, people gone quiet. But for this one, that the Supreme Court has ruled, and for he to say something to the contrary, it might concern it. And that's why I'm seeing this is scary, and Liberia something could backfire soon in Liberia. And that's what on my mind is about the president, his decision. I don't know why he took that line. We know that we're told he had over 50 years experience and he's the wise man with wisdom. But this does not show somebody who, I don't think he cares for the rule of law in Liberia, and that is quite concerning. That's what on my mind. And you?
Similar things on my mind, the fact that we have a government that is elected, and this government has 6 years mandate. The government has gone 1.5 years, not even 1.5 years, and a lot of things have been happening. And the government would rather ignore, the president would rather ignore some of the things that are happening, even though it's not happening within the executive, but it's happening in another branch of government. And he ignores it. And then when the Supreme Court gives a ruling, and he tends to like downplay the ruling of the Supreme Court.
It muted. We can't hear you. Linford, we can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry, my was muted. So I wasted all the talking. But I was saying that I'm concerned as well, like you are concerned. That the government has been in power for 1.5, almost 1 year plus, and the president sees that things are not going the right way as they should be, even though it's happening within the other branch of government. But he chose to be mute from the start when he had the opportunity to just quiet down this whole thing as president, because he's the first and last man in the country. He's the first man to take a lead. He's the last man to speak. So he decided to remain mute. And when it goes to the top at the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court renders a decision, then he tends to make it appear as if to say he will not abide by the decision from the Supreme Court. I think it's troubling. And this president shouldn't be doing this kind of thing, because this is not a man who came to power by military coup. This is not a man who are maybe in different field of profession, and then he became president by accident. This man, according to information from his people, he has been in government for more than 40 years. 40 years is big. 40 years, if you born a child 40 years ago, that person should be responsible. So if you work in government for 40 years plus your age, plus your different experiences, you should be at the top of your business. But this president decided to remain mute until when the Supreme Court gave a ruling, then he comes to make a statement. And that yesterday I did several posts. And one of them I still remember was this statement by the president is belated. It's belated. It is only to save face. Like, you've done something wrong and you want to come. Why is he speaking at this time when the Supreme Court already ran a decision? We were not supposed to reach this far. So it's troubling, like you said, and that's some of the things on my mind that we'll be discussing tonight.
Great. Thank you, Linford, because I think we're not going into international news tonight. Let's look at Mama Liberia, because what is happening on the ground. Also, the opposition, first time for me to see all the opposition to come together like that today to give the president a mandate that you can still go back and revise your statement that you came up with yesterday. If not, I think all meaningful Liberia will join, whether they in political party or not, they will join them to send a signal to that president, because what he did, if you disrespect the law, he can be impeached. And that's the fact.
We'll come back to that. That will be the meat. Those will be the meat of the discussions. But I think what we need to do now, we work on our guests, those who we can see on the board, for instance, or I see Ma Serena's son and Bataki, our good friend from Belgium, and also Chadela Chilpe Brown, our ardent follower. And for those of you whose name I cannot see on my board, we want to say welcome to you. We want to take a very short interlude of music, maybe a minute or two, and then we'll come back. And while we are on our interlude of music, we want you to help us to share the show, because tonight we'll be discussing the meat and the crust of the entire matter. We're going to say it. We're going to say the way we feel, and we're not going to be biased. We're not going to be sympathetic either. there's no empathy, we will say the truth as they are. And if you don't like it, fine. But if you like it, fine. So we'll take this short musical break and then we'll come back. And when we get back, then we'll be going directly into the newspapers first. Some of the stories in the newspaper. We're not doing international news tonight, like Paul said. Everything will be on a local front. So from the newspaper, then we'll go directly into the action of the president from his speech over 2 days or 48 hours ago. So share with us, share the show, invite your friends to be with you so that we'll all discuss together. And if this is your first time, we want to say welcome. For those of you having some occasion today, normally people will have birthday parties, wedding anniversary, something, maybe your baby born today or you're having just anything good. But again, if there is any sad news in your life today, we also want to say we're sorry, and we are with you. But let's take a quick musical break.
My people, where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Whip your hands. Come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. People fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go for. No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they said they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us. They lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the for us. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to breathe? You see, we just tell you that's why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they can knock the world.
The people lie to us, the government betray us. Linford, you're back. Wow. to be a cheering father is not easy, man. I feel your pain.
Yeah.
However, welcome to the discussion. This is the Friday edition. To our followers, if you join us for the very first time, we want to say welcome to the bottom line, and kindly click on our page to like our page, and then whenever we comes on, you get notification. We want to say welcome all of you. Tonight we will be discussing Mama Liberia. Why is it Joseph Nima Barker is disrespecting the Constitution of Liberia? We want your input tonight. Is that the rescue thing that we put him in office for? The most experienced, the more wise, the man with all wisdom. Why is he disrespecting the Constitution of Liberia? That is the question tonight. To our audience, we love your comment. We want your answer. Should we sit back and let Joseph Numa Barker, the president, disrespect the rule of laws, the Constitution of Liberia? If so, are we going back to the dark days of our history? Remember Samuel Kanyando, when he took over, at some point, people started disrespecting the rule of law. I remember the incident with Chia Chipo when he was impeached. The country started going from bad to worse and ended in 14 years of civil war. And Joseph Nima Barker was part of that government. Why is he now disrespecting the rule of law? Linford, talk to me.
You see, when you say he was part of all those past governments, the guy has learned how to deal with the Liberian people. This guy is not a new man to the game. And this is when the Liberian people now are reaping what they sow. Because during the election, when you ask them, they say, oh, all the other candidates that we know them, that the old man we know. And you see, so the same way you know the old man knows you too. So, Paul, you know me, I know you. You have seen me, I have seen you. We have interacted many times. So, if I say, well, I believe in Paul, or I know Paul can do this, you also know me. You can say, yeah, I know Linford can do this. You see it? So the old man knows what all of governments have been doing to the people. And number one, the Liberian people are lazy people in their mind. We are very lazy people in our mind. When it comes to governance, you killing our people, you killing us. We say, hey, let's get be like that. What we'll do now? And we now let the man, yeah, kill all the other people that live, we still be here. We electing next year again. So the old man knows, okay? He has been in this thing for years. So the old man, excuse me for my word, he's not stupid, he know what he's doing. Number one, that old man, he has many years experience in different things. How to croak people, how to do good, how to do bad. He know all those things. Then you turn around, you put him in government for over 40 years. Then he learned all those things. Coupled with that, he knows the population of people that he's dealing with. So that was the easiest ride. Let me tell you, if the Liberian people had given power to anybody who is coming to presidency for the first time, that person will have some respect, some outer or respect for the Liberian Constitution and for the people themselves. Because our Constitution says that we, the people, have the power. We only pass on this power onto you to exercise it. Okay? So if you are president and you're disrespecting the law, that means you're disrespecting us. And the reason why he's disrespecting us is because he knows us. Okay? The voter said that only man will know. Okay, so the mayor know, the mayor too know, he knows you. So the thing is playing out now. When you plant corn on your farm, you now harvest tomato from it. You harvest corn. So you see what's going on? You know me, I know you, and so we play the game. So what can we say now? The Supreme Court, and like I said the last time, the nonsense where people say there are two different branches of government. Yes, so the two different branches of government make up a unit. Okay, we all learn this word organ. The human body is made out of different small cells, and all these small cells put together form the whole organ. So if you cut one vein, if you cut one vein, the other part of your body will feel it. So you can say, oh, because my hair way up there, let me cut my toe from there. See, so they say the Supreme Court, when it comes to their interest, the Supreme Court got to meddle in their case. But when something happens, then you see them running to the Supreme Court. So I don't understand. But to put no matter short, the president knows the people he's dealing with, and the people know the president they're dealing with. Thank you.
You're right, Linford. You see, you said something which I agree with. We Liberians, we are lazy people. We don't want to read between the lines, and we don't read, and we don't do our due diligence. This 40-year experience, and people have not asked the question, why did Eddie Johnson Sirleaf, his boss, refuse to sell him to the Liberian people? So everything that Ellie knew, this is what now coming to play, that this man does not respect the rule of law. Maybe he disrespected Ellie, and Eddie knew that he's not somebody to work with. But Liberian people, because we don't do our due diligence, we decide, say, oh, this person, because this person been there for 80 years. 80 years of what he have shown? Nothing. But they decided to bring him. Since he got in the office, every day he's breaking a law. The same law that he passed when he was president of the Senate, the places that he signed, you remember the tenure position that they brought in, he violated all that. People sat by and say, okay, but this one, the level of which he have gone. So I'll tell you something, Linford, what he asked the question, what on my mind? So tomorrow, when the election is held and Unity Party being whipped, they will say, no, we're not moving. This is what Joseph Boakai is not indicating what he's capable of doing come the next 4 years. This is what they're trying to do. They're testing the Liberian people. And I think Liberians should wake up. This is no-go area because our people, our brothers and sisters, our moms and dad died in that fully civil war because of the same violation of the rule of law. And Joseph Boakai is now start repeating what has happened. So nobody should sit back and say, oh, because a Unity Party, I have law for this man, and that is nothing but law. When you break the laws, you break the law. So just imagine, he cannot respect the Constitution. So I can go to Liberia and beat anybody up because I'm taking the law into my hand. Nobody going to respect the law. That's what he trying to say. You see? This is the point. And people now, there's so much justice going around the country. So if you keep violating the constitution of the land, what he capable of doing? And what he have done in a sound country, opposition will be calling for him to step down because he does not want to live by the rule of law. If he keep violating, then he must go. And this is the point. What say you, Linford?
You know, and sometimes that, like I just intimated that Liberians, they are lazy to read, lazy to think, lazy to even remember. They can't remember. Somebody asking here, one Daniel Passion, I think I should know him, asking what law did the president break, brother? Nobody got to tell you.
It is simple.
It is simple. Tenure position. They created tenure position as a protection for the people that will be appointed in that job. So when Joshua was president, he appointed somebody that was supposed to be there for 10 years. That's an example. The tenure law say if Joseph Boakai comes or whoever comes within that 10 years, you cannot move that person. You cannot remove that person. Okay?
Unless that person violates.
Yeah, unless that person violates the code of conduct that guides that particular appointment. But when your president came there, because that Joshua people put in there, he moved all of them. And guess what? Who made a law? That Bwaka and Ellen Johnson Sally made a law. Joshua just came, he was just implementing it. But because it was his government now, he moved Joshua people. So guess what? If the next election in 6 years, he appointing people in that position, they'll be there for maybe 6 to 7 years. When the government takes over, that government not supposed to test them. So Daniel Bashar, listen, let me, because I know you'll forget. The moment you tell your body, you forget. You might say you even listening again. So if any government comes, if Joe Walker appoints anybody to tenure position, if any government comes after Walker, that person not supposed to test that person according to the law. So if Joe Walker comes and remove all the Joshua people before that term is over, you don't call that breaking law? You think the law that's something that played where you can take it and break it, then everybody see it scatter? No. When you do what is against the law, you break the law. So maybe in your mind, the law, that one breaking plate, you got to take it, knock it down the side or scatter and say, oh, we now see the man breaking law. So that just somebody talking. No disrespect to you, brother, but I'm just telling you. I'm just
let me expand on that, Linford. Let me expand on that. The Supreme Court get a ruling that what you didn't do, go back and do it. And they recognize Fanatic Kofa as the legitimate speaker. The president came back and said, I will continue working with a quorum, which is the majority block. He didn't want to use the word majority block. That is pure violation of the Constitution. The Constitution already made it clear. This is the way we're going. But he said, no. We'll work with the quorum. Who is the quorum? The illegitimate speaker is the quorum. And then that is violation of, so it means not disrespecting what Supreme Court said.
Joe Walker did not remove any tenure position, so we lie. You see that? So
the Supreme, what about the central bank? They wanted the double paying now. Okay, that's right. Let's move on. Don't listen to them.
Right? Go back to, if you go back 1990, people who were living in 1990, if you say Joe K. they say that do not keep Tower die by himself because now those people. Then if you come to 1990, I mean 1980, right? Then you come to 1990, say, or when they got Prince Johnson, the Prince Johnson say no that don't care himself. Because the people they will look at the truth, we turn it around. Then he said Taylor brought wall. The Taylor people say, hey, Allah, Taylor not brought wall. They walking by himself, the people were shooting themselves in the head. Then when it come to Joe Walker moving people from tenure position, they say no that. So and you expect this country to be good, right? You expect that your lives will be good. When you look at the truth, you twist it around. No, we don't know how the house will, brother. We don't want to make it a dialogue. The house got rule. One of the rules, I don't know whether that's 49 or 33, it says, if I'm the speaker, listen, I'm telling you how the house works. If I am the speaker, and I'm here with Paul is one of the members, if I do wrong, Paul don't want me, or all of them don't want me, they will not just, I will not be out of office, or I will not be somewhere there, they go, they vote behind me, they say, they will bring me that law, that court, that own court, where they will bring you in and put all your sins before you and say, this is what you did, and these are the things that we don't want you for. You will defend yourself. Or if you can't defend yourself, then they vote against you. That's a law. You say you know the law. They will vote against you. But you're leading a man, you're not calling a man to session. The man not working. You didn't tell the man what he did wrong. You just went behind. You know that day, Paul, I was watching that vote. I said, Richard, come on, 3 minutes a day. By the time the guy, when Fala say, okay, we'll have vote. Richard, come on, 3 minutes. The guy been waiting for the job. The guy is sick. He's obsessed. Richard is sick with position. And you know, when this kind of thing happening, when in your favor, you think it's okay. But time will come and they will get to know. No, even if you get maturity according to you. You, Richard, you know you say you get maturity. Why you can't? Kofa is saying, I don't want a job anymore. But do the right thing. Bring me into the chambers. Let's go. That's so good. You go and do what you're supposed to do. You refuse. So where's the majority?
But the Supreme Court said it. You didn't do it right. According to their own horse ruling, Article 33 and 49 make it clear that the man was in a country, he was in a building, he decided he went elsewhere and he did something. but that was wrong. So go back and do the right thing. And that right thing is simple. You say you have the number, and the number is just 49 person you need. So, and they say they got 50. So if you have 50 person, go back and say, look, we don't like you because you are corrupt, because they lay out 7 count that he, based on those 7 count, they cannot work with him. So he did not have the right. He has the right to defend himself. He have the right to defend himself. So he have the right. The feedback coming from somewhere, guys.
Yeah, like Jima, know your monitor.
Right. So what I was saying is that you have 49. You don't like what this guy doing, he's ruling. Go back with the 50 person in God, honor his gavel, say we cannot set honor your gavel because you have this allegation against you. He need to what? In the court where you have to defend yourself. At that point, the deputy speaker preside. So the voting out, we don't want you anymore. There's a vacancy open for speakership. So anybody in that house can contest who want to be a speaker. But this Richard Kuhn and his followers do not want to go that line because why? Somebody else may put their hand and say, look, I'm interested in the speakership, so they don't want to do it. But for the president, after the Supreme Court rule, for the president to say, no, I will still continue business with the majority bloc, that's a pure violation of the Constitution. That's what we're seeing here. Welcome on board, Jamal. Jamal, can you hear us?
Why Jamal is trying to set up? Yeah, why Jamal is trying to set up? Let me say this one. No, small sheen is better than big sheen. Trust me. You walking in the street, you want fat. People tell you, boy, if you fat, at least the people will go down. You fat, you say you see him. Then all of a sudden, the whole people come outside. You wasted all that time. And free time man get the parable. It say if you want to carry a cow, leave that cow clean and carry it. Don't let it caca on itself. Because by the time caca on itself, it'll be hard to hold it. When the thing started, they took it for fun. They spent all the money. People were in car dividing money. They went to RLJ. They spent all that time, having jolly, spending the money, trying to pay people to pay or to gather the 49 or the 50 names or whatever number they had to gather names to remove Kufa. It didn't work. The president, the executive, they spent all that money to do that. It didn't work. And the impasse still continues. That's the first mistake they made. The second mistake, the president, with all his wisdom, knowing that he's the first and the last man in the country, if the president said, let all go to war today, we'll go. If the president said, nobody should move today, we'll stay home. You are the first and the last man in the country, okay? He sat down, all this thing was going on, he never made a statement. How many times the president spoke in it here? Nothing. Only for the Supreme Court to come out with a ruling, and then he comes out to come make a statement. It's belated, he's in a saving face, but at the wrong time. And number 3, they spend all that money. So for that money to go in vain, it will be a big slap in their face. That, how can all of us fight against one man? The government fight against one man to the point where you get justice minister trying to interpret the request in a different way to sue the government. You got all the ministers, you got all the directors, all of them coming out to defend the government only one thing here. So if the abide by the Supreme Court, what happened to them? It's a big slap in the president's face. So he will do everything. But the mistake he's making is that whatever goes wrong, nobody now they want to draw in opposition and say, oh, opposition, blah, blah, blah. Nobody got anything to lose. Now opposition, now we the ordinary citizen, it is you, Joe Bwaka, your government, that you got to lose. If anything happens, anything sparks up, who will be the loser? You. because you are the president. You have the government. You should be very careful not to damage your own government. And everything he's saying now is something Haji Krumah said long time before when the war started newly before the war was coming. We had one meeting at EFBC and he said this thing, and I learned that war. He said everything we'll do here now will be damage. It will be damage control and crisis management, DCCM. Everything he's doing now is damage control and crisis management, but it cannot work in all cases. It has reached a point where this damage control will not work easily. Now, what can you do? The Supreme Court came out and gave a ruling. COFA is still legitimate. Then you got your own mayor that you sponsor, you pass budget honor him. And, they did a lot of things. So it's so simple to go back. The thing was simple from the start. Mr. President intervened. But he waited, hoping that the people will gather for the 50 names. There you go. You'll say your majority. So why you can't get 50 names? The invisible 50 names? I don't understand.
But before Jamal comes in, the first violation when the Supreme Court came out with their ruling, the use of big Latin word, small Latin word that lawyers that learn in Liberia, even the Attorney General of Liberia said he didn't understand that particular thing, the ultra-virus that he used. So he decided to interpret the Supreme Court ruling. And what is his own interpretation? This is what Supreme Court said to the guy. The Attorney General opinion of which self-styled majority bloc is acting on. Look, this is what they did. That the first violation from Joseph Nima Barker, the man with 50 years governmental experience, with all of these people around him, that they claim to be the most educated people, but one simple language the Supreme Court used, ultra-virus, that he could not find, and he decided to give. So the Supreme Court was rubbish in here, said it was foolishness. So what say you, Jamal? Welcome to the Bottomland discussion. You've been away for a while. And how was Liberia? Welcome home. Jamal, are you there? Linford, Jamal is frozen. Talk to us.
I'm here.
Okay.
Paul, I'm here.
All right. Welcome, brother. Long time. Good to see you. The audience have been asking for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, thanks. I've been busy working around and trying to keep my feet on the ground as well, my hair over the water. So how are you doing, guys?
We are great. Very.
Yeah, we're doing fine.
Our audience, I'm happy to be in paradise, to be among the living. It's good, and it's Friday. Thank God for another life, because it is where it is. So good to see you. We're on.
Thank you very
our
much.
Mama Liberia today. Yeah. I know you've been following the issue on the ground regards to the Supreme Court ruling and the president taking different action. What say you?
Right. Paul, this is simple. We have three branches of government in the country where we have the judiciary, the executive, and legislature. Who effects the rules is the executive. And if they don't support you in any directions, that particular branch is bound to fail. And this has been going on for the past 6 months. We know that the creation of the Coons kind of leadership, the Coon speakership was back from the executive branch. So we definitely know that the executive branch is behind the creation of the Richard Coon's leadership. So now, with the decision of the Supreme Court, would they easily withdraw to say, look, the court has made a decision, let's abide by the Supreme Court decision. It's not that easy. I think we talked about it a couple of hours ago before coming on the show. It's not that easy. The government will say, look, okay, we agree, the Supreme Court made a decision, let's withdraw and move on, And what about the sacrifices you guys have made? So it's a situation where right now it's a fight that they don't want to look at the Supreme Court decision, and they want to just save their face, because coup is a creation of Joseph Boakai. Simple as that. We know that, and you guys on the show been saying that the president does not speak. He does not speak, but he works on the back at the back end in the backyard or in the back house or back office, whatever you call it. And he's been working, making sure things work. Probably before this year came about, he had a meeting with the Coons and his team. I mean, sorry, Kofas and the team. It did not go well because Kofas stood his ground, saying that he wanted to go back and let the rule be the rule, or law be the law. So it's simple and very clear, gentlemen. Let's see what's going to happen in a couple of weeks to come. Now, the president is saying to us that he will work for the quorum. Who is the quorum? That's another ambiguity in this whole statement. Who is the quorum? Can the coffee blocks become the quorum? That's another question. So it's still ambiguous here. So he's not clean to come out. So he's trying to save his face, as well as saying to us that he will follow the laws, the rules or these are made by the Supreme Court. So what could happen right now is like we're going to have a lot of pressure from if we listen to the Liberian, the citizen and the opposition, the party government, the unity party government, they don't care. They don't care about us about the government that is, the opposition. There's no opposition in our country anyway, because if there was any opposition, they should have made those statements previously. Making that cases and make sure that the government listen to them. But now the only pressure, I think, the only saving grace will be from outside. If the people like the ECOWAS and the international community come and look, this is the rule, let's follow this, don't steal the country into another chaos, then they will listen. It happened in the case of Madam I think Director Brown Lasana. I think she was supported by the ECOWAS, and from there her decision was reversed, and she came back to serve as next chairperson. So, and also look at the case of the House, the House one, the Central Bank, CBL Liberia. The central government was dismissed and finally was settled. So there are a lot of things happening in that country. So it's people keep telling you it's a political decision from the House. It's the House against the judiciary and against the executive. So the fact will say that we should not who interpret the laws. And the old man himself told us yesterday, the final arbiter of the law is the Supreme Court. Is he willing to follow what the Supreme Court is saying? So that's a serious ambiguity in his statement yesterday he made. So that would be my point. So we are in a serious constitutional crisis right now in Liberia, gentlemen. I don't know how we're going to come out of it, but it's a serious situation. And we're going to be talking this. We've been talking this for the past 6 months. I think it's going to continue until the old man has to bow out, or else we have to have a serious issue in Liberia.
So, Jamal, the ambiguity you talk about what he said he'll be working with the quorum. We know that the minority bloc does not have quorum. We know majority bloc have quorum. So if we are, instead of using the word majority, he said quorum. So is he trying to confuse the citizen of Liberia because they don't read between the lines? But it's just simple as the majority that have the quorum. The minority don't have.
The word quorum I don't know, sorry, Paul. I don't know what the legislative quorum means. Probably I don't understand that, but he needs to explain to us. That's why I'm saying that's ambiguity in his statement. Probably quorum can be the number of people the minority is bringing up, or the quorum is relative in this sense. So that's why he has to make it clear what does he mean by quorum. And he also said to us that he will live.
He said it in his statement, said they went through the Supreme Court thing, they accept the ruling. But they also know that legislature matter, they can work with quorum. So that quorum means when you have 37 or 49 persons gather, the people with more number, they form the quorum. So the people that have the number is the majority bloc. So in simple English, he doesn't want to use majority bloc.
The issue stay issue here, because that's what I've said. The issue of quorum, the definition of quorum is relative in this sense, because if the majority bloc was a quorum, for now to should have been removed, because the condition has been, or his point has been, you don't have the numbers. If you have the number, come and put it forward, vote me out. They don't have the numbers. So state issue is who is the quorum? That's another question. But another side, the flip side of this, boys, if you've been reading a lot of write-ups out there, And they will compare the situation where they consider the government of Liberia or the executive will give the right that they will go by the decision of the Supreme Court. What will happen later on will be there will be another hamstring owing to the leadership of Kofa if he gets in as a speaker, because what will happen will be a complete chaos in our house. No cooperation, no work will be done. There will be a complete sabotage until he's out of that place. So it's not only allowing, let's agree that the president comes, okay, yeah, right, we're going to go with the decision of the Supreme Court. But the next thing will be, it will be any peace in the house where they settle down for the benefit of the country, where the legislature settle down for the benefit of the country. That's the question. That's going to be another situation. You told me today.
So, Jema, let me hold you right there, because Fanatic Kofa did a nationwide. He gave a speech that he willing to back down. So come on his gavel, make your case, do the right thing. He's off. You have the number. So why is this guy afraid to go back on him and say, look, we cannot work with you, although Supreme Court Haru say you are the legitimate speaker. We cannot do business with you. We know you are corrupt based on this allegation. We don't want to work with you. So today we're going to have a vote. We're voting you out, because they say they have the number. So if you have the number, the thing is simple. Go, you're meeting the John.
Let me speak 2 minutes. That Leaf want to come in and say something.
Yeah.
Look, Fernando Kofa is a lawyer. He's a smart guy. And he's been pushing this case to make sure he gets by his position. He's not going to relinquish that job for anybody. I'm telling you something. It's not going to work. He said that to your lawyer, give me the numbers. I want a number. If they all wanted something. I mean, if you look at it, the Coon factors or the Coon thing hijacked the whole thing. You saw how the election went. My colleague Lepo was saying how the election was just speedy. Elections got everything wrapped up and just got to the power. He was put anyway, change. And also understand that while they were there, the very, very House of Supreme Court agreed to the budget that will pass. I think they should have not honored that budget. That's the first thing. But there are a lot of complications in the whole stuff. That budget should have not been allowed. The Supreme Court should have denied, that budget being passed. To say, look, for the fact amount of got an issue, there's an impasse in the House of Legislature. This budget should have not been. We should put a budget on hold until they settle the issues. Then the issue settled. Then the country was at the point of failure. But now, then the pressure will be on the executive to make sure decision is made. He can't allow to make decision. They allowed the budget to be passed. They allow other things to happen. On the very cool Richard Coon that's now calling the regime leader or the regime speaker. Now that they are coming to tell us that whatever happened on Richard Coon is illegitimate. That's another question. If I have to ask the Supreme Court, what happened? I'll leave for now. I'll give my colleague Linford to make his comment. But I think it's not as easy as you look at it. There are a lot of things. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a student of law, but from logic, you will see a lot of things happening right now. A lot of things are happening right now. We're not picking it up. But the past 6 months, a lot of things happened. And what happened on Richard was considered as legitimate. Now it's turned on illegitimate. What happened? What passed on him? Can that be considered illegitimate as well? That's the question. All right, Linford, you can make comment. I think that's I want to just raise my issues on that.
I will add up to what you just said. You made a lot of sense. Number one, like I said before, this government has spent a lot of money and they have invested a lot in this process. For them to just back down, it will be a slap in the face. No, let me tell you, Paul. On the real, look, I got friends in the Unity Party. Right now, you don't know what's happening in their backyard. All that they're doing. The president just saving face. But there's a big rift. The president wanted Kun to leave, but Kun cannot make it. So Kun is standing his ground with you guys, and the president, you dress the devil. You put the devil outside dancing. In that dancing good, you want holiday. The devil say, no, I say one dance. In that dancing good, you're not satisfied. You put the devil outside. You're not satisfied. You want to haul him inside to maybe advise him. He say, no, you put me outside, I'll dance. I don't care what happened, I'll dance. That's what happened now. Number one, all that money they spend, the scene, small scene better than big scene. Okay? They got them. Number two, the Supreme Court too blunder somewhere where they allow the budget to pass and they approve it to probably because they want to get a pay or something, or they were promised that you will get a pay or something. I don't know what they did. Then they came back again to nullify the same authority that gave them the budget, that passed the budget, the Kun administration. And then they reaffirm Kofa. So now Kofa is in a position that the whole world knows that the Supreme Court, and that nonsense people talking like bro, that the Supreme Court is now important in the state that law. Every world knows, everywhere where there is the thing called democracy, they know that the Supreme Court is the final arbiter. So the Supreme Court of Liberia, it could be the Supreme Court of America, they have made a decision. Okay, so Kofa is in a safe position now. But the question is, how for Bwaka to get his devil that he dressed and put on the floor, how to get him out? So he's talking about now, like I said before, yeah, you can work with the quorum, Mr. Bwaka, work with the quorum. But who is the loser? If the guys go to session, Kofa go, and one group go, and the other group go, and they disrupt everything every day. Who got a the story in the Bible about the two women that are fighting all the child? The woman that didn't own the child said, I'll call the child to peace, or into two pieces. But the mother of the child was careful. The mother said no, because that's her child. So you, Bwaka, you got a child here. You should have been the first to prevent anything. You talking about you can't strangulate the government. So the government is more strangulated, number one. The international community depends on to vote 75% of your budget. Okay? We will not look at the kind of crisis and waste our money. They will not do it. So that we are talking one month in April, right? By June, we'll be talking different story. When civil servant not taking pay on time, when the federal executive cannot get money to pay its workers, that time now because they didn't get money, the small money that they collected, they finish misusing it, or they stay collecting some free poll and from LEC and other things. When it finish, they depending on the 75% from the international community. Mr. Trump is in power. He cut off aid to all African countries. So where you get money from? So he told me, you don't want to strangulate the government. We will soon reach the point where you will see something happening, in the federal government. But we have not reached that point. It's coming. Then the other thing I want to talk about is the thing that Paul you struck earlier on. Okay, you call yourself majority. We agree. So bring them no more. I remember when I came to Europe first, I was playing we were playing third division football. So we went to play a game somewhere. For that funny thing I was saying. The game is organized by because we're playing for the country. All the third division teams in the country were playing. If you do well, you'll go to second division. So it's not the friendly match. We say, okay, Paul coming to play or no. The game is arranged on schedule. And in Norway, when you're playing, my man, where a ring can, you can't play. Anything that happen, you're going all your player there, that's how you'll bring new set of player you're playing. Because it's going by schedule. You can't delay for anything. So we went to play this game, we got on the football field. They made an even celebration. We saw one tractor cutting the grass. So with that, then they went, they brought pole and put the goal pole. Then they waiting for that player there. So finally, they end up with 7 players. Okay, so we were in the majority. We said, okay, we'll put our 11 players on the field. The rest said, no, we take you'll put 7 players on the field. You see it? So, Kofa get minority. It's just like a football team were playing. They didn't get 11 players, they had 7 players. So we said, okay, we put we the hero because we got 11 players. We put our 11 players on the field. Now you're who now, because you people who got the majority, you should be demanding. Say, Mr. Kofa, we get majority come. Or you can't show the majority here. Every day we hear majority. We can't see the number. Really mean. Okay, how long? You was 73 lawmakers in our house. Okay, the 73. How long to get maybe all the 73, or maybe even 53? Because when you get 53, then the other people get 20 now. Only 20 they will have. Okay, so the whole thing is just what the president is doing is a face-saving measure and damage control system or crisis and damage control system, but it will not work because Kofa, the world know now, the Supreme Court will not come back on its word and change anything. No more, it will not happen. So Kofa is in a safe position.
So Linford,
yeah.
So Linford, the president said he will work with the quorum, but he will disregard Supreme Court ruling. because Supreme Court already said Kofa is the legitimate speaker. So in his wisdom, he should have said, okay, I will work with Kofa, Rachel Kuhn and others. Y'all go in the house, y'all do the right thing and remove Kofa. Period. But now, it's not the way it is going, right? He said he will work with Kuhn. I'm not going to go by what Jamal saying here is ambiguous. I'm saying he made it simple, clear that I will continue doing business with this group because it was the same group that his own attorney general gave an opinion of the Supreme Court and the upper house that what they said, the elders of the nation that should have better knowledge, the upper house decided to go with the attorney general. So this fight is not going to end now.
I'm not continue over. Let me say again. Let's talk about that parable in the Bible. The two women with a child. Okay? No, who's supposed to be making a peace here? The Bwaka want his government to be damaged. Simple. Opposition has already met. They are giving him alternative. Go back and change your word or expect. How long? Liberia is very small. I want to make it like a threat. The thing simple. The international community watching, Americans are watching, all the people, the EU. No, they will not waste their money on any government, any useless government that want to keep one man that is not significant. What is the significance of Kofa Kuhn being a speaker? What good does it do for the government? Does it increase employment or increase the budget or does it increase your revenue intake? It doesn't do anything. So why would you want to keep the one man to damage your own government? So Joe Bwaka, let me tell you, he's on high water. He's in high water, but he got these surrogates around him who are fasting him. And let me tell you, Kuhn does not want to move. Kuhn and Bwaka will fall off. Trust me. Some of the things I'm talking, listen to it. I may be saying foolishness, but listen to it. Kuhn and Bwaka will follow at some point and we'll get to know the inside and out of the whole thing here. Kuhn feels that Bwaka have empowered him.
Right.
So the simple cannot kind of say, they move from there like that. You see it? Yeah, go ahead.
So we'll go to the opposition. But I just want to take a quick commercial break for our sponsor. So we'll go to because the opposition now, they've been quiet, but something woke the opposition out today. We'll be diving into that. Although Jamal said there's no opposition, so this will be the most interesting part. Do we have opposition or we don't have opposition? Or the citizen of Liberia now will have to invoke Article 1 of the Constitution, where they say the power is inherent in the people. That if somebody violates the country law, the people have the right to go and ask that if you don't do the right thing, you're out. Let's take a quick break and then we'll come back to, do we have opposition? We have a lot of people following us on YouTube today. Just drop a comment so we can recognize you. Please, let's take a quick break and come back to the opposition.
Di Lorenzo, G Grace. Hems vocal, Liberia number one vocal, Liberia number one, right? Okay.
The phrase, a new sheriff is in town, does not only belong to law enforcement. How about the introduction of Liberia's premier vodka, a quality and customized liquor for all occasions? Try the flavor of your choice. Hans Vodka, Hans Honey, Hans Bitter, and Hans Original Vodka. Hans Vodka has no hangover. That's why they say Papa drink Mama happy. Hans Vodka is sold in all stores, shops, supermarkets, and entertainment centers in Liberia. For wholesale, contact Hans Vodka at 0777 001114, 0777 000-979. We can also be reached via social media on Facebook and IG at Hans Vodka or www.hansvodka.com. In the United States, please contact Hans North America Incorporated at 610-543-9289, 484-888-1622, 484-755-8411. Hans Vodka is approved by the U.S. federal government. Hans Vodka brings out the real man in you.
I tell you, in my boy, in my blood. Every time when I stay on the block, everybody knows it. We hustle. And forgot that number one. Oh, from Liberia all around. In supermarket store and everywhere. And forgot that number one. Oh.
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. The spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
And so here we are. You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia discussions. It's interesting tonight. And we're starting with one question, whether there is opposition in Liberia. But that will be very interesting. Everybody here will give their own view as to whether we have opposition in Liberia. But if you're just joining us, we will say welcome. This is a program that brings you the information from the top to bottom or from bottom to top. And we give our own opinions. We may not be right. We are not wrong either. That's what we think. And so welcome. Let me welcome a few people here. You know, I saw a couple of people, Paul. I don't know whether you've seen some other people. Daniel Bashop. Daniel, welcome. I like your courage, you know. We like the Unity Party. I like, invite more of your people. Let them come here. Let them prove us wrong. Let them say we lie, like you say. We like that. We want to have more of you so that you can tell us some of the truth too. Write your comments. Leave your comment. Anything, do not abuse anybody. You see, here we're talking about the president. We say all the critical things. We're not causing nobody here. We're not causing the president. He's our president. Until otherwise, he's still our president. But if he does the wrong thing that we believe is wrong, we'll talk about it. And so Samuel Mullenberg, you always hear, and the few other guys whose names I cannot see, we want to say welcome to you. Paul and Chima, I don't know if you see other people that you want to welcome.
I just want to welcome.
Okay, Lucretia Nelson is watching. Yeah. And yeah. So I'll see. Go on, Jamal. I've seen
Cadella Brown. Cadella Brown is my favorite and one of my favorite followers, and as well as Bataki. These are my two favorites, being really committed to Borderline. So we say a big hat off to you guys. Thank you for following us. We like your support. Keep going and share the show. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, Paul, the big question you asked, whether there's opposition in Liberia. In a democracy, in a country that practices democracy, there must be opposition, because even if you make a two-party, right, two-party state, and then the other party the one that are in power before become opposition. Then next time, the America, for example, the Democrat, there are several parties. People always say that two parties in America that lie. There are several parties, even independent candidates. But the two outstanding parties are the Democrats and the Republicans. So now the Republicans are in power, right? The day they leave power, there will be opposition. When Democrats come in, there will be the ruling government. So you ask a question. Yeah, I would say there are opposition parties. Opposition parties in Liberia. Does that answer your question?
Okay, no. You can have a football team, and you have mostly time that you may not know, but it's a football team. Then you have the Manchester, you have the Arsenal that wreck it up every time you see them. You say yes, but there's other football team, but those teams they're not in action. So the reason why I asked that question is there opposition in Liberia, and I don't think, in my opinion, there's opposition, because in the UK where I live, most time elections are held on a Thursday. On Friday morning, you get on a Wednesday, on Thursday, you have the new government in place. When they swap seat, the opposition regular way start reminding the new government, this is your party manifesto that you came with. and we are watching you. They don't go silent. So with the breakings of all the laws in Liberia, the tenure position, the removal of people illegally because they were party affiliation, right? They removed them. Opposition zip, that is not opposition, because the guy you want to replace, you have to keep his foot to the fire. That is, you cannot make a mistake. If you made a mistake, the next man is in. So the question is, do we have opposition in Liberia? I don't think so. Because if we have opposition, Joseph Newman Burka, President Burka, will not be brave enough to violate the constitution of Liberia. So where is the opposition? That's my point.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. I say, I think in one of my comments that we don't have opposition. I think Paul qualified what I was just saying. The problem is this issue of why we don't have opposition. Definitely, the oppositions are dead in the sense that they are not active. I can say that, and you know that outrightly the opposition has been dead. In the first and foremost, all these impasses have not continued this far. If oppositions have come together to make a decision or a statement, they should impart the democratic trajectory we have in Liberia right now. They are not taking that role. They are not playing that active position. And I will attribute this to the opposition being surrounded by individual or political parties in Liberia, so to speak. It's surrounded by individual. Where if there was a system structure in place where there's a funding for political parties, they will meet up the policy or the line, the rules, the conditions set up by the government. This opposition is not be supported by an individual. They have their fundings, like what happened out here in the West. You will see the opposition become active. But in the sense of Liberia, gentlemen, when you win the positions, like when after elections, people start running to voting, elected parties are being elected to power, to the government, begging for jobs and stuff like that. In the House of Legislature, even in the House of Senate, where are those opposition caucus? They don't exist anymore. You see, it's very clear, it's very crystal clear. They don't exist anymore. Because if you don't surround yourself around the people with the power to be, you are dead. But you'll be strong later financially. Everything will be taken away from you. And that's the situation. What about those out of opposition, like the political parties? Let's look at three major political parties that we should be making a noise right now. Liberty Party should be making a noise. ANC should be making a noise. CDC should be making a noise. As well as other small parties that are coming up. But where are they after the election? They sat there supinely watching and see, give chance to Umar Barker to work. He said, "Oh, gave me you want to work." And now he's still committing a crime. So there's no, like Paul said, nobody's putting the government feet to fire. So you just relax and keep making those mistakes. Nobody's challenging them. Now tomorrow they're telling what they all get to on the street to revoke Article 1 of the Constitution. They are jokers. Seriously, they are jokers. This should have happened before. This should happen before. They should question the government. You not go on a Facebook, social media, write a long list telling the government this is what we need you to do. You need to be action. You shouldn't be taking action. You should be out there having meetings. Make sure you meet as opposition party. For what the situation the country is leading to right now is not in the right direction. We need to come together, opposition. Opposition does not mean, political opposition does not mean your common enemies. You got difference in terms of principles and beliefs, in political principles and beliefs. That's all about it. But once your opposition think the common enemy, you don't want to meet and discuss the good of the country. So where's opposition? Tomorrow they're saying they want to go on the street and revoke Article 1. They should be staying home and do something with their time. So this is why the unity body government is taking them for a ride. They don't respect them, don't see them for anybody else. You know what's happening here in the House, in the Parliament here in the UK. I think everyone is on Thursday. This guy has been challenged every day. The Prime Minister, every day he's been challenged on what he carries on as a government. So President Bakari will do what he wants to do. He doesn't trust the opposition to exist because they are struggling. And also opposition is surrounded by the person. It's all about one person. If the election after election, nobody's already opposition does not happen anymore. There's no opposition. Except the new one that coming out, the movements coming out. I think movement are even more powerful than political parties in Liberia right now. So that's my point on this. So what we need to do is just hope that there will be divine intervention in the situation in Liberia. Waka does not listen to opposition because they are not strong enough to challenge it. They don't have that muscle to flex.
Okay, let's welcome
Jamal,
Mark.
before he comes in, Linford. I mean, we at age that we remember something that one person, he was a journalist. You have our port that took trouble, just our port alone. He could get trouble on ease. I mean, they came into the 80s. You look at the Tipote, the back of Matthew. These people, they were not sitting back. They could, but now you get opposition that are afraid to say something because they're afraid because they will grab them and put them in jail. Even when Ellie was in opposition, you are fearless.
Well, it's not about opposition. Yeah, because they had their own little money to do. Because most of those people that support the oppositions, they have been giving government jobs right now, and be giving contract or a consultancy contract. So what would they say? You're going to lose your job. You're going to lose that consultancy contract if you speak because you're part of opposition. Government has gone all over the place getting people silenced. And the party is surrounded by an individual. Once you are a political leader of the party, you run a party. That party has no strength anymore. So if the political leader does not speak, nobody speaks anymore. The party chairman down to the last person will not say anything because they don't have the resources to support that party. And there was a system in place in Liberia where political parties, if you reach that threshold as an opposition party, you've been financed or funded, if you receive funding, you see how strong democracy principles will be following in Liberia. But it's not like that. It is a way back tomorrow. If I got the numbers, I go register people in every county, I register my party, I become the political leader of a party, and I run opposition political party. The day I'm not active, no, there's no opposition. So tomorrow, they come in tomorrow telling us they want to go and react against the president's speech. Let them go find time to do something with that time, please. Let's discuss something different, gentlemen. I don't believe the opposition need to, until they can come by and show that they are really serious of business. Since the election is up to today, who has been coming up there? Essentially needs to be a bit active. The rest are not doing anything. The rest are not doing anything. The only one that's showing peace right now, I think Musabede is trying to make some movement around. The CMC, I didn't say it's for the movement of people movement, whatever you call it. He's making some moves, but he stays young, or he's a young political party compared to other one. But I think he knows the geopolitics of the country. He knows how to make some move. He's setting up a movement. But as far as I'm concerned, the opposition party cannot challenge the Union Party right now. CDC should have been the biggest one to do. They're buying time as well. So let's get busy. Let's just push for
I think I can jump in at this point.
Go on.
Let me welcome Manchi Nelson and Unistor. Unistor, you know, if you come here, we got a rule here. This is a program on which we express our own opinions. The same way you got your opinion. We are expressing our opinion. We are Liberian citizens like you. If you are a Liberian, then you should respect us. One thing Liberians do not do, and you all short of it. Those Liberians that do not know anywhere, they even know Liberia. Learn to respect other people's view. Do not like it. Do not accept it, but learn to respect it. The same way when you say something, you want somebody else to respect you. You come under our own post, you call us stupid people for Joe Baga. Suppose I say Joe Baga stupid. What do you say? Because you're fighting for Joe Baga now, I will not come for you. I'll go for the team man. So
I think Leaford, you're giving this person too much publicity.
No,
Leaford, you continue.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, you gotta put it in place. Paul and Tima, we got rules on the show. We all know cause. I can cause. So we're talking. We're not causing nobody. Then somebody comes in your house and start insulting you. We can't take it. That's why we made a rule. You come here, you can write anything, you can disagree with us, but stop abusing us. Because when you abuse us, we can go after you or go after the person you're defending. And goodbye. No, but yeah, Lucretia, no talk. The person
Linford, just leave this person and continue with your program. Leave this guy.
Do not encourage this thing. Do not encourage people come here and insulting on the platform.
No,
do not. We ask everybody to give their opinion. We're not blacking anybody's opinion, but do not insult. How difficult is that to understand? Are we breaking our own law? This is where you can start from.
No, you're giving this guy too much attention. I want to leave that.
Not attention. No, let me tell you, he's gone. I will black him. You will not see any. She will not see anything here. you'll be black. You're gone. Simple. I did not black Daniel Pasha. Daniel Pasha can hear you disagree or you're okay. Now let's go. So you guys talking about
Clip on it down. Take it down there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I highlighted it mistakenly. So we're talking about opposition, right? Opposition. There are oppositions in Liberia, for true.
You actually blocked Lucretia instead of the guy. What's wrong with you, Linford?
Yeah, I did.
Was it Lucretia I blocked? No, I don't.
No, it's not Lucretia. It's not blocked.
No.
Lucretia is not blocked.
Look at it sounded.
No, it's not Lucretia.
Yeah, it's Lucretia, I think.
It's Lucretia.
Okay,
I'm telling
yeah,
you.
We'll put her back.
I'll block her now.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. How to unblock Lucretia?
You can do that later on.
Okay, yeah, she knows she's back. So, like what I was saying, there's opposition in Liberia, but Chima struck a point. Political parties in Liberia are built around individuals. And when they are built around individuals, it becomes so difficult. It becomes difficult.
What's going on? Batika is blocked as well.
No,
it's not blocked. He's not blocked. He said, ignore the guy and don't block him. That's what he said.
Yeah.
It's not
blocked. Underneath the comment.
No, it's not blocked, Paul. It's not.
I know he said you were black, boy. Anyway, but let's move ahead. We can always add people back. But the thing is, the opposition. I saw the opposition gathering today. I saw many faces, and I got concerned. How effective are they going to be? Because they see opposition people. I'll give you one example. All the men who are controlling all the ANC documents during the election, right after election, all the election documents, what happened? He works at Transport Ministry. Like you can't hear him talk anymore. So these people, you see them, some of them are just hustling for job. They'll move from one party and go to the other one because see this party again or power again. See people coming all over the place, jumping all over the place. But my concern here is whether what this opposition is saying today, whether they will uphold it. Because I remember when the election was coming, the ANC or the CPP organized some protest.
We are tired.
Yeah, we are tired protest. And other opposition parties were undermining something that they should have been supporting, whether they are part of APDP or not. So today, when I saw all of them sitting down, I was thinking the same way. How serious will these people be? Are they not carrying different agendas? Are they all together? Will they stand up? Are they? So, and it could also be that some of them are just plenty agents. They are just there to try to do the work of the United Party government. So the thing is, for the fact that the opposition parties were registered or parties were registered and they are not in power, they are opposition. But how strong are they? That's what we should be questioning. Not whether they exist, but how strong are they? And like Paul, you started an example about the football team. Yeah, they think get football fee, they get football jersey, they get everything, but they're not practicing, they're not doing anything. So how could they go take part in the league? So I think that's where we should be thinking about. But oppositions are in Liberia. That one is for sure.
Yeah, like listen, the opposition in Liberia for election. Right after you join elections, there's not opposition. Oh, gentlemen, that's the fact. Like you all agree that opposition is built around an individual, which has been the case. And the only way to help our opposition to strengthen our democracy in the country, we need to create a situation where opposition gets state funding. That's the best way around it. State funding, and then they can stay independent. Then they don't be built around. They don't live by the whims and caprices of the political leader or the chairperson or the person who organized the party. That's the only way that we can get a strong opposition to challenge the ruling party. That's the only way. Or else we still go through this situation. You know, somebody said, you've seen what happened after the election. Those who want seats into the House on the political party tickets, they don't pay allegiance to the party anymore. They turn around and say, look, to hell with the party, I don't care anymore. If you have had a commitment to your political party, you have your laws, you have written, signed a contract, MOU between you and your party. If you go to that house, you are committed to that party. You should be paying dues to that party. You should be attending that party meeting. And the party should be able to vote you out, to remove you from that particular seat if you violate the rules of that party. That's how it's supposed to be. But what happened? They will get onto the party tickets. Once you get to the real houses or the House of Legislature or Senate, eventually they turn around and say, you know what? I don't care. To hell with the party that put me in power. And they won't contribute that part that helped them to get to that power, to get to that seat. So where is the political party? So I'm saying the political party being built around individual is not good for our democracy. There must be a bill that says that the political party should have some state sponsorship and funding from the government, and the rest should come from the individual, from the party themselves. So then we can have a party, the political opposition that are able to challenge the ruling party to at least to see democracy, see something like that looks like democracy in the country if we want to follow that rules. Gentlemen, look at what happened. We all say here that the unity party, the government, has been violating constitutional rules since they came into power. Where are the political parties? Is that today they want to come out and go on the street and say that they want to invoke or revoke the Article 1? There are a lot of things happening. Going to the LTA happened. They went to the central bank. Other things happened. I think you can just name a few. They just what they did. They just a press statement. Sometimes someone wrote on their very media, their social media, their political leaders or the political party. So I don't understand their position, but I don't see them. So they are not active for me. As far as, in my opinion, they need to change their directions and be more proactive than being like a social media or a press release political party or political or opposition parties.
Yeah, but again, it's two ways. It could be that there have been nothing to wake them up. Like Paul was saying that now they are going to wake up. It could be that
always something. It's always something like you're my brother.
Yeah, but there were nothing to wake them up, but this time they are waking up. But let's see how it's going to work. And they set a date, Tuesday. Today is Friday.
Let me challenge you on that, Linford. What happened with the department? Even there's nothing. What do you do with the government in control, government power? You check, you put it in check in the sense like things, the commitment they made before they came to power. Those are the ones you use every month or 2 or 3 months. The year has come by. Why the political party they did come over giving the gray sheet or the report card of the president. Have they come up with a report? What did they praise the government? What he has done? I mean, they only did that a few times. You keep reminding the government. Even the government is not doing everything right. The government is not going to be 100%. When you make noise as political party, a constructive noise to let them know they do exist so they can do the right thing. I said earlier because the unity part of the government is not taking opposition party serious because they don't see them to be active. Active, they won't mess around and do something like what they're doing right now. God didn't come to their bed, they're sleeping. Tell me which political parties have been very, very active recently concerning a recent issue. Coming out there, we'll gather on the street. If you don't do this, we're going to move out. They just made a statement. Today they came out and said they want to go out on the street. Then a fun time, do something with that time, please.
Yeah, look, Jamal, let me add to that. How on earth you say you opposition? You telling the Rudy experiment I gave you 1 year before I would say something so the people can taste you. In my lifetime, I'm never ever heard of that or seen it before. That I will give you 1 year. You can break all the laws. You can even kill people. Then after 1 year, we start talking. No opposition in Liberia, my brother. I'm being honest with you. You see,
there was an issue of course. They're going. Sorry. Go on, Paul.
An opposition leader carry weight. You contested, somebody beat you. Whenever you speak, people will look at you and say, yes, there's a. But the fact is that you gave in your opponent, say, oh, I gave 1 year. Then we don't have opposition. In
Yeah,
no
I don't
content or
understand why
some
people are saying that no, there was nothing to raise the issue on. But the first and foremost, the budgets were put forward. That budget should have been
yeah.
reviewed by the opposition. Look at from every part of it and see what is in the interest of the country,
Yeah.
of the people. That's one thing. Is this thing the budget's been passed? Is it budget what this area, this amount allocated to this particular ministry, to the agency? Is it in the interest of the country? Are we now accumulating debt for generation to come? Because at the end of the day, can we live by this? You're not putting the government feet to fire. They're telling there's nothing to talk about. There's a lot to happen. A lot happening in Liberia that we in the opposition need to speak about. I'm not saying that you speak in the open air or nothing to talk about. There are a lot of things in that country the government need to be challenged on. They didn't challenge them or anything.
That's true. Before you come in, from the very beginning, the inaugural funds, the people that came, you see, if the opposition, where somebody said they coming because they coming to be what? Transparent. They will protect the rule of laws, and they will fight corruption. They will even create war crime code for the war perpetrator. All of these things. Those key things, that's where opposition hold on the ruling establishment. That you promise us you're going to do this. Nothing. There was Fiamomo yellow machine. You ever heard any opposition? The Alolola yellow buses that were bringing. All of those things. That things that you don't say, they say, oh, we gave them 1 year. After 1 year, they will start talking. You gave the people free rah. Now they start a rah on you. You know where it's heading. The election in 4 months, in 4 years' time, what's going to happen? They will violate anything, and you do nonsense. They beat you and put you in jail because from the start, you were afraid to talk. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. So where is the so-called opposition?
Can I come in now?
George Weah is former president. Une Hesarege will do the talking. He's scared. Alexander coming, former candidate. He cannot say nothing. The surrogate will talk. There is no opposition in Liberia. And be honest, Yomi Kanga from her party, she's a political leader, but she takes side with the ruling establishment. So where is the opposition? There's none.
Can I come in now?
Come in.
I was still admitting that there are opposition parties in Liberia, but whether they are active or not is a question. But I will tell you something. We live in a different political culture. We operate on a different culture, political culture, where, I heard you making a comparison with the UK. And the UK is one country that I respect when it comes to democracy. I've seen Theresa May being removed, replaced by Boris Johnson, the guy who was very focused on Theresa May, and then he didn't even make a few months there, they removed him, then they brought in another guy, they removed him, they brought in another lady, they removed. So, that's a different culture. Now, Liberia, we will always say, oh, because you lose election or you lost the election, that made you angry. That you're fighting the government. Then some people say, okay, let's get the government small chance here. Because they just sit down. They got to put things together. That you were talking about the UK, where elections take place on Wednesday, Thursday, transition, Friday, they start working. On Monday, work going on already. Opposition operating. I can see that debate on TV. I know exactly what you're talking about, but it does not work like that in Liberia. If you do it, they say, oh, because people lost election, that's why they want to sabotage the new government. I just said that people not go through transition yet. Some people not take office. So our culture is different. Okay, you got to take how long your president will stay appointing people. Since 1 year ago, they stay appointing people. All the government posts now here fail because number one, they don't want to put opposition people there, so they look for their own people, and they don't have so many qualified people, so they got to reserve that other position and wait if they can find somebody who will support them. You see it? So we operate under a different culture. By the time the government people have started rushing. Opposition has started rushing. They will say, oh, angry birds. Oh, they lost election. Oh, you come in, you get 1%. Go say that nobody want you. This and that. Georgia, you're there, you're not doing well. So we got to know where the terrain in which we operate. So that's what I want to add. But not that Not that I'm backing the
So
opposition.
leave for George Weah, when he started building his condominiums, it wasn't the same people. Wait a minute. It wasn't the same people. Less than 6 months, they had this thing about George Weah. They were on him back to back. Now, when it comes to Joseph Numa Baka, you gave him 1 year. So what sort of culture that will operate when it suit this one? When it suit the other one, you back.
Let me come in there. We heard the George Weah people say the same thing. Yes, there were opposition to George Weah from the early days, and when people went after him, people would say, "Oh, the government, yes, now you're leading men. The men, in fact, the men no whole government job before, the men not become president before, so the men still knew." We heard that before. The same thing the Unity Party people would say. If people have gone after the first 2-3 months, then imagine that this man supposed to be experienced. So people, when people say, "Okay, let's give him chance," people will say, "There's a ground. Let's give him chance." Maybe even though he got the experience, but the people that he got in government, they all not experience. So let's give them chance. Just to get them room to breathe. Let me tell you, the leopard will not leave. The pig is a pig. If you carry the pig to the market, whether you dress a pig, you put hair band on the head, you put earring, that pig, it will say, so whether you're going to start on Joe Baga the same day, you say be a failure. Whether you gave him 1 whole year or 2 years, people say now.
Yeah.
But
what we're trying to let you know is that we want you to let you know, Paul, what Paul must trying to put through today is to you tonight, to the other people that are listening, find out the opposition should be considered as a democratic stakeholders. They should be able to apply diplomatic pressure on the government to make sure they do exist. Whether it's the same culture in the UK or in the West, in Liberia, it's not the same. We do understand that. There's two political environments. But that does not stop you from putting the government attention, bring government attention to issues that are not living up to their commitment. Why will you wait to give a government 1 year to work when they started make blundering from this day one? Why should you wait for another 365 days to happen? From day one, Paul, you saw that they started making mistakes. So when you see them, they ought to contribute to these mistakes that happen because they sat so badly looking at the government to continue making these mistakes, repeatedly making these mistakes, or making these violating the rules. Therefore, I don't even want to call it mistakes. Probably it was subconsciously or doing unconsciously making mistakes, but definitely they were making these violating the rules from day one. It happened. And they sat there for 1.5 years telling us, well, we will give them a chance to see if they'll work on. What kind of opposition is that? You are a stakeholders to this process. Why will you sit down and let it happen? Now you're telling me, my dear colleague, that what happened in the UK is not the same thing in Liberia. If you talk, they will say, oh, well, why the opposition to come? You are a Liberian, you have a right to say the right thing, to say that you guys are not working. The young man came on our post here insulting us. I mean, for me, he has the right to say anything, just like he doesn't need to insult. But I won't even comment about him, because once you come on this platform, you expect people to come with it. They are very unreasonable. They will make statements that don't even intelligent person not make. And that, like, where he belongs to every one of us. So I don't know why will you talk to him about his attitude. I mean, there are other people that are on.
Anybody can come. All the people that are listening here, we got people following us. You can read anything. Do not insult.
Yeah.
Look,
I just want to. Yeah,
the moment you get people, somebody can say you're stupid. Yeah, we're stupid. Yeah, fine. The next person will come, he start causing our man. The next person will come, you don't do that. Do not. No, the law is the law.
I know it.
Yeah, the law is the law. For me, we sit down here, we're talking about what happened in the house, we condemning it. The law is the law. Do not insult here. So why you want to come and try? Do not insult. Do not. So the only way you can talk that you insult. So the only way you can talk, I'll block you. Anybody, any one person come and say anything here, you cause anybody, I'll block you. You can disagree with what Daniel Bashos here. He said organizing so loud. Yeah, that loud. That's his opinion. But do not insult. Because the next time when people start insulting, they'll start small. That's the man who come and say, oh, he calls stupid today. The next day, he come and calls my man. The next day, he come in. No. I will not encourage it because I do not do it on other people post. I will argue with you, but I will not insult you. Do not insult it. The law is simple. Simple as that.
But lean for. If somebody insult you, want to block them, you don't have to get them ready for. You can just block them. You don't have to.
Yeah, but you also wait. Listen, you also sounded a warning to the other people watching. The other people watching will come and repeat the same thing. So everybody, no, the people who get watching will know now that I will not control anybody insulting anybody. They know, so they will not kind of try. But if I blast somebody secretly, yeah, it's simple. That me, I stand for law. If I say this is not supposed to happen, it will not happen.
No, what I'm saying, you can block that person and even announce it. Yeah, I just blocked this person. We have a rule here, but you give the person the thing, then you say, "Now I'm coming to block you." You should have just done it quietly and then say,
"You will go the message that I went to one platform." You will learn.
It's all right, guys. It's okay, guys.
You go to one platform.
Guys,
the any platform that man goes to now, you know that you're not supposed to be causing. So he learn a lesson, and you let him go the message that he caused. That's why I'm blocking. Okay, simple as that. So
right,
there's no good way to kill a man. I will say blocking. Even if I'm quiet, I will say blocking. So why if you come and throw, you kill me? When you come and throw, you shoot me, or I say that. No easy way, no good way to kill a man. So I will block him. When I do it secretly, or and he gone, you're not coming by again. And any platform you go to, you're not going to cause nobody there. You know that you are blocked from one platform, and you are told why you was blocked. Simple. This is me. I follow. If
right.
He said,
anyway, let's all conclude. Let us conclude, guys. Yeah.
I'm just sorry that Pataki and I know because of my mouse. My cursor moving, Pataki and Lucretia or Blackboard, or I think I'll restore them. So, yeah, but I think in conclusion, I don't know whether you guys have anything to say, but I think we have said all. The thing is, from my side, my final word is that if I were President Bouaka, I will not even defy the ruling of the Supreme Court. The reason is simple. If anything happens in the government right now, where people will have to go to court, maybe you go to the lower court cannot handle it, or somebody not so far from there, where do we end up? Supreme Court. So if you go to the Supreme Court, what do you expect from there? Because the two parties that will go to the Supreme Court, one of them will say, well, the president, the last time he disagreed with the Supreme Court ruling, he did respect it, so I can do the same thing. Because the president should be setting precedents that would be good for the country to follow. That's the point. So, I think that's wrong. And we know that the regime is big now, but you can still fix it. Call the two parties, say, no. You say you got majority, call Kufa. Let Kufa come. Kufa, let the people pull your sin before you. Let it judge you. If you are guilty of the crimes that they are accusing you of, you move from there and let the government go on. Simple. The thing was simple. You don't need to sponsor people to hotel and pay people to come to become member of the majority black. No, it has gone too far now. 7 months. So I think that's my only recommendation. If they can redo it, let them redo it. Nothing spoiled.
Right. So let me conclude, and then Jamar can
Before you conclude, Paul, quick question. Do you guys review the paper? Quick question. I was away.
No, we decided now. We just decided to stick with the
because I was thinking that we talk about the pontiff, the death of Pope Francis. At least it's very important that we could talk 1 or 2 minutes. It's all right. So you guys decided to let it go. Go on.
Yeah, we if you want to break out, we'll talk about it last week. But yeah, have a quick.
Yeah, but the number one, the Pope is there, number one, and we are not Catholic people here. The Pope, he was specific to one particular denomination. Okay,
when our Anyway, go on, Paul. Go on. I will make my conclusion.
Right. So I would say, look, what happened in Liberia, what emboldened the president to do what he's doing because of lack of opposition in the country. Weak opposition, if we have any. I don't think we have opposition. Because when you have somebody on your back, you think twice before you come up with something. That's why the president is emboldened enough to say, look, help with these people. We're not going to listen to Supreme Court. We'll do what we think is right. So they are coming together. I think it's a blast. It's just fiamomo. It's other country language they will say. The Russian will say it's complete urine da. They're not going to do anything. If they want to move the needle, they have. Look, I just gave one example. CDC is the biggest political party in the country. They alone can move. When they decide to move, they will move. They don't have to call a group of people to say, oh, let's say that and get the president one, because all of them seeking for jobs. I see few of the party are supported. Some of them sit on Spoon Network because they want job. They're seeking hallelujah chorus to the government. They see wrong is wrong. That is Liberia because of job. They all job seeker. So they not have balls enough to stand up for what this president is doing. And United Party, they may look. I will say this and mark to this day. If Liberia not careful, just how the CPP were destroyed, how Joseph Newman Baka will destroy Liberia before he leave. If people sit there and watch that, the pattern of this man, his way of operation, he won't talk, he will go for the kill. And people will sit there and say, oh, we gave you up to Tuesday, that complete. Try it. They'll bring the police, they will tear gas there, they will run away, they will never come back on the street. These guys will get a free ride. We don't have
but at least they will demonstrate for that right. Why you do to them?
They will not even show up because they're scared. We get cowards in Liberia, and that's how I see it.
No, you see,
if you want to do something,
all the time when people protest, all the time in Liberia when people protest, and the police use brutality on them, and they say, oh, the people scary. My friend, nobody wants to get hurt. It is the right of the people to protest, but it is the responsibility of the government, if that's a responsible government, to protect the rights of the people. The government is violating the people's right. You are not going to protest and say, okay, I wear iron skin, even if the water, the high water gas, the high water me, or the tear gas me, I'll be strong. No, nobody, my man, no dare hero. There is no dare hero. So, but it is the responsibility of the government to protect the people's right. The people will protest maybe for 1 day or 2 days, and they will say, go home. But you start brutalizing and killing people, so who want to die? Who want to die?
Jamal, before you come in, when opposition leaders, when Bako Murphy them were protesting, did they sat in the back and they led the front? If you lead in the front, your opponent does not pour water on you because they know what's going to happen. But you sit in the back, you send thoughts, they spray there, they scare. But if you lead the front, guess what? If that person, you spray that person, then
opposition leaders have been killed. Some opposition leaders have been killed around the world leading protests. No, let's be frank here. Look, we're talking about responsible government that will respect the Constitution. This government does not respect the Constitution, Paul. The power lies in the people's hand to protest, but the government will go and tear gas and even shoot some people and kill them. Because they don't respect the Constitution. So even if you put Mr. Cummings, you put
because they scare it, they will not go out. Let leave this old man.
You are not understanding what I'm saying. You are not understanding. Okay, listen. Let me make my point. Take Mr. Cummings, take Georgia, take Harry Moniva, even Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf, and former president, take all of them and put them to the front and carry them. The people will say can't tear gas them because they don't respect rule of law. Okay, so that's a sense. So you can put all the opposition figures to the front and put all the Nyama people behind. They will say tear gas and they will say shoot some of them. You see it? So yeah,
go on.
You're dealing with a government, or you're dealing with a talk government or government that does not respect human rights. So what do you expect? A despotic government.
Okay, thank you very much. There are two things I want to speak on opposition. I want a few comments on opposition, then I'll tell you what I think about what it should be like. I think I do side with Paul. I agree with Paul big time to saying that opposition should be taking the front of the road. You can't bring the people on the street and you're sitting in the back. I think, Paul, Linford, you might know that personalities make news. Opposition taking the front row would also get the world attention. That's one thing. They're taking the front row, leading up that particular demonstration, that protest. got the world attention that the person they should be led by this group of people. It's not people that are now of high, stand. I mean, how do you call it, personality in terms of politics. So if opposition leader lead these groups, people like Mr. Cummings, people like what do they need?
The government will give command or go and shoot that man. When they shoot, the government will come back and say, "Well, it will not all somebody in the crowd that did it."
Yeah, but don't say if they're afraid that they shouldn't. If they're afraid, they shouldn't get on the street. Then they shouldn't get on the street. They should sit home, because if you think the opposition, they are saying put on diplomatic pressure on the government. We are not saying they have the right to demonstrate. And when you sign off to be an opposition political party, you have the right to protest a system that is not right. If you take a sit there inside other people to go on the street, you sit in the back, then you are not a political leader. They're not a opposition. What have happened in Liberia, only activists and people are taking the streets. Opposition political leaders will not take the lead and go and demonstrate against policy and program for the fear that they will shoot at them. Then why you want to be opposition political leader? You're not demonstrating. You're not ransacking places. So the point of you saying that, oh, they will shoot at them. If you know the whole man is being unconstitutional or you've been doing everything going wrong, then don't get on the street. Stay home. Don't say that. Go right on Facebook or social media. Stay home. That's not actionable. We want to read that. Who reads the social media in Liberia? Anyway, all my comment on the final things I want to tell you concerning my opinion on the president's statement. I think like eventually the Richard Coon may give in, but the fact that there'll be no peace in the house, that house will not be settled because there'll be too many rivalry in the house, and it may make Mr. Kofa, Honorable Kofa, Speaker Kofa, very very the tenure will be unstable. You're not able to run that government. And that's what's going to happen. Eventually, those guys may sign in. That's the final thing. Okay, let's agree that Mr. Kuhn, Speaker Kuhn will come say, now the region speaker will say, now, okay, I'll give him. That's it. For the sake of peace, let's go ahead. But what happens if he does not get the cooperation from them?
Dima, you remind me of Paul. When it started a long time, I think the first week, the second week, Paul was like, okay, Kuhn is the legitimate. I mean, what Gani, Kofa is a legend. There's certain time Paul made a refer saying, my man, I told you, Kofa will give him because the way they think Kofa will give him. So we are back to square one. Now you are saying that eventually Kun will not give up because Kun knows that the longest he holds on, the government will be doing business with him, and Kofa knows that he has been declared a legitimate president.
The lifeline of Kun is Mr. President.
Yeah, and Mr. President
Kun is if Kun is no Kun, if Mr. Baka say Kun is, if you step in, you will step down. So that's the first. No, he will. He definitely will.
Baka will say that.
He will. He will come. He will negotiate. He will.
Jamal.
Yes.
But Baka can say Kun step down, you back off. Jamal said something that you didn't pick up. When the opposition, what you've been talking about, we say no opposition. When they get diplomatic pressure, they're quiet. They know how to press button. And that man will
I just mentioned about the next chairperson. They were last time, Madam. They were after last time. Her case was suspended, almost being replaced. You know where the pressure came from? From outside. And that whole decision will be reversed. And I'm just saying to the way the position looking right now.
The opposition will have options. Like, okay, we have always put people in the street, but they can be brutal. But this street now, we're not going to go people, we're not going to risk people in the street. So what we'll do, we'll begin to pressure diplomatic pressure. Like run the US embassy,
let me
ECOWAS. Okay. I think that's another option.
Yeah, Paul, Lifford, you work with in the media. You know what happened with opposition. That's why I would talk of personality in opposition. If you got personality in opposition, they got international connection, they pull strings. They'll call up and say, we get on that street to demonstrate against the decision made by the government. You know what happened? The international media pick it up. Then it becomes an issue. We just said to you right now, I will challenge you and get on that street right now and say, I'm taking that lead, Mr. Cummings. as low as it polling in Liberia right now, if you get on that, take that lead, it will be picked up by international media. International channels will pick it up and it will make news. And this is what we're talking about. You know what happened to the government? Government will begin to sit down. Let's look at our target. You know what? Let's see what we can rethink this. That's how it works. So we are saying you can't call incite people onto the streets and you sit there, you write on Facebook or social media, we condemn this, condemn that. You are not serious. If you want the government to believe in you and take you serious, get on that street and don't incite people to get on the street and they'll be faced with those tear gas. And you sit there in your cozy, very cozy houses, homes, and enjoying your wine and stuff like that, telling other children to get on the street. Why would you want to do that? Get on that street. Look, two people will get on that street. I'll tell you, get attention. Let President George get on that street. Cummings get on that street. Hold hand to hand. Lead that group and say we're walking from this place to that building, to the executive. What is building name? To the Capitol building. I give you less than 24 hours. It'll be pick up BBC, VOA, every international channel pick that up, and there where the attention is. And that people, Mr. Barker will sit and say, no, let's negotiate this. How do we want to talk? Call them for a meeting. That's how it works. You telling me they will shoot at them? They're not going to happen like that. It doesn't work. That's how it works. So I want to example that happened right here. I want to example happening right here. When this British government wanted to deport people that were having issues that they have no stay in this country, they want to send them out of the country. They want to deport all of them. Those people that don't have papers, they want to send no state to send out of the country to Rwanda to stay. It was all passed by everything was passed on. The plane was ready to deport the airfield. People got on the street. Powerful people got on the street. It got blocked. Immediately will pick on international channels. Those stations really around the world, they were all over the place. Immediately, government put a stop to it. That's how imposition worked. That powerful they are. But if you don't understand your own power, you're afraid of the barrel of the gun. You're afraid that you don't want to challenge the government because they will shoot at you, and you're sending other people, children, to go on the street. Then why are you there for? Why are you talking to the government? Why are you there for? That's why I said there's no opposition. Mr. Barker does not respect them. They don't exist.
The opposition leader that used to give Mugabe hard time. What the guy name, man?
The guy in power now.
Yeah, he passed away.
But that's more beating that Ben received. Mugabe will fly.
You know, Linford. I tell you, that certain people in our country, when they go on radio station, say enough is enough. They carry weight. Cummings is one of them. Weir is one of them.
George Weir is one of them.
It's one of them. When they say
that's on that street, the whole situation, the dynamics, the narrative is changed in the next 24 hours.
Ellen Johnson said, "I'll be at that
rally." Are they sitting down? You'll get Carlos Gray to do the talking. This is the point we're making. When you speak to the nation that, look, what Joseph Barker is doing is violating the Constitution, I will invoke Article 1 of the Constitution, that power talking power.
Yeah, but
and they are feeling
tomorrow. They are feeling guilty already because the mistakes done for the past 1.5 years, 6 months, they have not done anything. They already the unit part of the government been making no mistake, breaching all rules in the country. I mean, so what now? They want to come out and say something. They're feeling guilty to come out.
Yeah, but everything gotta start and end. So this what they.
I hope they will come up. I hope you can see them coming up.
Yeah. You might be surprised to see.
Man, to be fair, he read something on Facebook. But how many Liberians read? That's the question. Even you go to, but if you're very forceful, that's no, this nonsense cannot happen.
What makes Yeke Koluba popular? Listen, what made Yeke Koluba popular? He's not the one who is not a writer.
Barker will not be president. I'll be honest. Yeke Koluba or Alexander Cummings, Barker will be shaking. Because sometimes you don't have to be president, but people see you, they respect you when you say something, they mean what you say. And people like Cummings who never stole from Liberians, that made his own money. The weight that he carried internationally, it will scare them. But the fact is that he can sit down and say, I get a contract, gave them 1 year. He emboldened Boycott to do what he's doing. The same way with George Weah. He sit down, go and watch his son playing football. And
No,
then
but he's
his
trying.
surrogates will
I mean,
do-
give credit comparatively, Joshua is doing better than Alexander Cummings when it comes to opposition right now. He's going out there. He's doing well. He's raising issues on concern on issues that are happening in the country. The Cummings sit there and saying, "Well, let's give the man 1.5 years to see what he will do." I mean, then why is the opposition? So the issue of it, like,
I think let's look at the biblical cliche that there's time for everything. So I think this is the start now. And I'll play the devil's advocate, right? Let's say that if the opposition has started on this government for long, people will say, "Oh, you want the government to say you're just pressurizing the government, blah blah blah." If the government say they say they didn't give
People
it.
let them say it. Let them say it.
you keep saying,
No,
the same people will say.
Okay, hold on.
The government supposed to do right for the people. So you cannot say, "Oh, the person doing bad." Then say people will say,
brother. You can't cry over spilled milk. The thing that happened 1.5 years ago. Now, if the opposition start putting pressure, the government does not have any ground to come and cry foul because what? They are giving them enough time. You see my point? What I'm making? They gave them enough time. I know it was not right. It was not feasible for the opposition to wait all that time for the damage to be done, but they have done it already. So if they begin to press the government now, what will the government cry? How will the government cry? The government can say, "You didn't give a chance. You had a chance. Okay. You had the opportunity." See,
granted.
Yeah.
I agree with
you.
Now, I agree.
The opposition
but when they take the lead, granted, when they get on the street with the people, with their supporters, when they get on the street, that's a question.
That one makes sense. They should be there. They should be present.
No,
because if they're there, I used to elect the opposition leader in Zimbabwe.
Linford and Jamal, opposition met today. Guess what? They send their party chair. You see, this is what I'm saying. The people not serious. Well, president, your equal strength, violate the law. Then you send your number 2 to go represent. This is where I wanted to see Alexander Cummings and George Weah on that podium speaking. It carry more weight than party secretary, party chairman. I mean, they're not serious. I'm being honest here. This is where you speak and then say, this thing here, because when we are Cummings talk, guess what happened? They are equal on that level. These are people that ran for the same seat. So they have equal strength. But you cannot send a party chairman gather there. No, there's no weight in it. And I wait to see on Tuesday. This is
like you said. Go on, Paul. You said that the former Zimbabwe, the late Morgan Shagara, who was leading every demonstrations. He went to jail. But your political leader, your opposition leader, don't want to go to jail. They want to sit there smoking a cigar, wine, and stay in the house, inciting people to go on the street and go demonstrate. Then telling me, but for the government to trust them to be fair. Government is not going to. Government don't worry about them.
Morgan Shagara, Mugabe was flocking in their BRA when they beat. Yes, he never.
Yeah. So that's how it is. So my conclusion.
Because of him, the amount of censure that went on Robert Mugabe that crippled that country, it was that opposition leader. You know that.
Yeah. But guys, I think
the same thing happening right now in Uganda called Bobby Wine, that reggae artist.
Yeah.
He's leading every demonstration. He's taking the lead and he make news. Anytime he got there, make news. So what do you want your actions to be more how do you call it to bring results if you don't want to take lead? You want to lead that demonstration, that protest. You want to sit down in your cozy houses, homes, and send people on the street and tell them we will demonstrate. We'll make sure they feed the fire. And then they tell the children get on the street. They get them. What kind of opposition is that? They want the government to listen to you. They say that's serious.
let me bring this thing out quickly before we go. This is a clip I just put on now. Listen to CDC party chairman speaking. It just 49 seconds. I just copied something.
2003. And we can assure President Boakai and his team that you have got the Liberian people to contend with. So we are calling on you here now to begin to mobilize, organize, put together your water bottles, put together your sachets of water, and get ready to confront the tyranny that is emerging in President Boakai. As we leave this meeting, we will be conferring. This is just a public show. So you can go, people who have been planted. Yeah, this is the public show. But from now to Tuesday, there will be no sleep.
Listen, you see the point I'm making here, Jamal? This is where Cummings should be standing talking. This is where Joe Weah should be talking. He's saying, this Baka will get laugh at these people say they're not serious. I'll be honest.
There should be a thing that we will be taking the front row. We will lead that demonstration. We'll make sure they listen to us.
Yeah.
They will not do that.
Listen. Also, Augustine Kwawo, Changa Kwawo, he made one statement in that same thing. He said, I think he said it, but he didn't complete it right now. He said, this is just a public show. And he said it today. He said, this is just a public show. But when we leave from here, we're going to work behind closed doors where there will be no press. And that's where we'll plan the action. So let's wait and see what happens.
What kind of action they will play? Stop that joke, man. They won't play fool. What kind of action they will play? What kind of percent envelope, brown envelope to dismiss? What happened to the June 7th something? Baka would say brown envelope to disperse the whole group.
They should prepare plenty of brown envelope because by the time they send a brown envelope, then next week the guys will come here again. Then they send more brown envelope.
The top guys being given something, the rest will dismiss. Forget it. That's how it happened, like, bro. But man, forget about that case. I'm
not sure George are going to take brown envelope from Boakai or Cummings. No, that one.
But it's not. He's not taking the front. You will not go. You want to lead a demonstration? No. So you want to send the boys on the street?
It's the people who taking the front. Our colors grade now will be taking the front. And these are the people the police will get tear gas. Cummings cannot take it from police tear gas. It's not going to happen. This is the point we're making. We will not take it from the tear gas.
Even the tear gas, he's making history. Then where the niche come from. Then where the attention come from.
Okay, guys. Let's wait until Tuesday.
Paul, I thought you running one of these before we go. The Paul?
Yeah, Paul, run the advert. Or what?
Yeah, I think you want to run.
Okay, we'll run it.
Yeah, run it, then we can close up.
Yeah, something God's told me say you can pick it up. He just made a comment.
I think it's simple logic. Let's say you need to take pictures of your entire body. You need a quorum of 2 people, you and the person taking the picture. Those with quorum seem to be the legally accepted. Yeah, but roll the stuff, and we can get out because we've got.
All right, we'll just take we'll take our commercial break on this for our sponsor, the Hans vodka, the sweetest vodka in Liberia. Let's roll this.
Di Lorenzo, G Grace. Hans vodka, Liberia number 1 vodka. Liberia number 1, right? Okay.
The phrase, a new sheriff is in town, does not only belong to law enforcement. How about the introduction of Liberia's premier vodka, a quality and customized liquor for all occasions? Try the flavor of your choice. Hans Vodka, Hans Honey, Hans Bitter, and Hans Original Vodka. Hans Vodka has no hangover. That's why they say Papa drank Mama happy. Hans Vodka is sold in all stores, shops, supermarkets, and entertainment centers in Liberia. For wholesale, contact Hans Vodka at 0777 001114 0777 000 979. We can also be reached via social media on Facebook and IG at Hands Vodka or www.handsvodka.com. In the United States, please contact Hands North America Incorporated at 610-543-9289, 484-888-1622, 484-755-8411. Hands Vodka is approved by the U.S. federal government. Hands Vodka brings out the real man in you.
I tell you in my boy and my blood, every time when I stay on the block, everybody knows it, we husband. And forgot that number one, oh, from Liberia all around. In supermarket store and everywhere, and forgot that number one, oh.
Well, guys, I think that was it for tonight. It was a beautiful show, Paul and Jima. I think I was on the opposite side a little bit tonight, and that's that's what we do here on the show. You know, we not so say one, or so say one, so say all. So sometimes we got diverse opinions on the show, and I think that's what we did tonight. But we hope the opposition will do the best they can, and we hope the president. I can recommend that the president should look back on his statement. He should not let pride or the unnecessary, thing make his government to content, because again, I would say the breeze that can disgrace the chicken, it can come from the bystander. It ain't gotta be anything, people. Simple thing can make your government to come down. We are seeing it around the world. So, Mr. President, if you know what we know, try to make up. You the one in power, call Kun and say, look, my man, the way thing happening now, we have government to run. You got yours. You got yours for 6 years. So come and sit down, let's do the thing here. Then let cover be there for 6 years. When you're finished. Next year when you run, when you win, you can be way more quality. In my prophecy war. So, we hope the president will use the wisdom. This is a me time for the Solomon wisdom in the president to show up. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, good night to everybody. It is what it is. Have a fantastic weekend, and we shall be back here on Tuesday by His grace.
Yeah, and if you're celebrating any occasion over the weekend, we want to say we are with you in spirit. The Bottom Line Library wishes you well. And for those of you that joined us tonight that we didn't see or recognize, we want to say come again, Jerry Tupa. You can come by again. For those of you who came and thought this is one, I call it gangster ground. No, we don't cause here. Don't kind of cause. Say any. You can disagree with all. We lie with this, with that. We are forced people, but do not cause anybody here. No, we don't cause you. So why would you want to cause? If you want to cause, go stay on Broad Street and cause. That one. Plenty people will see you, but not here. I will not take it. We will not have sympathy on anybody who will cause here. Simple as that. And we hope that we'll meet here again on Tuesday. Thanks a lot. If you thought I was very stringent, I'm sorry, but this is me. I abide by the law. I can't be talking about people abiding by law, then I can't abide by my own law. No way. I will not take it. I will stand up for the law. Because when the law applies to me, if I break a law, let it apply to me. So if you break it, we'll apply it to you. And that's how we'll leave you on this edition of the Bottom Line Library. Good night and have a great weekend.